Welcome to my channel, Meditation and Prayer. Pratyahara. Pratyahara occurs almost involuntarily when we meditate, as we are deeply engaged in the act of meditation. Precisely, the mind is so focused, the senses follow it. It is not happening the other way around. At the stage of Pratyahara, the consciousness of the human being is internalized in order that the feelings from the senses of taste, touch, sight, hearing, and smell do not reach their particular centers in the brain. And Pratyahara takes the practitioner to the next stages of yoga, namely concentration, that is dharana, meditation, that is dhyana, and mystical absorption, that is samadhi, being the aim of all yogic practices. The bringing of the mind back from its improper course is pratyahara, and the directing of the mind in a proper course is dharana or concentration. My name is Vikram Singh Basati. In this video, I am going to explain the topic Pratyahara more precisely in simple words. I hope the result will meet your expectations. To benefit yourself fully, watch this video to the end. If you like my video, press like button. It motivates me a lot. Subscribe to my channel and keep yourself in touch with me so that you get notification of subsequent videos in time without any delay. Like, comment and share. In this channel, I shed light on the nuances of meditation and prayer. Pratyahara is withdrawal of the mind from sense objects. The attachment and detachment of the mind with the sense organs according to your requirement is pratyahara. In other words, the abstinence of the sense organs from their normal pleasure or objects is called pratyahara. Pratyahara involves withdrawal of senses or sensory inputs into our physical being, coming from our five senses, namely organs, creating a sensory overload and hence holds back collection of the mind as in dharana, the next stage of yoga. Pratyahara is to first reduce physical stimuli, then focus on one sense, such as hearing. The mind has a natural tendency to wander between the sensory inputs. In this state of affairs, as there are no longer any other noteworthy sensory inputs, when the mind gets tired of hearing, it is forced to turn inward. At the advanced levels, the currents which beat through the nerves and even the involuntary muscles are turned off by the practitioner. There are four subtypes of pratyahara that allow you to fully experience its benefits. Indriya Pratyahara. To create the best environment for relaxation of the mind, Indriya Pratyahara focuses on withdrawal from the external stimuli you experience via the five senses hearing, taste, smell, sense, sight, and touch. To withdraw from the senses, concentrate on your natural breathing pattern or turn your attention to a chakra. Prana Pratyahara. When practicing Pratyahara, it is essential to control your prana, which is the universal energy flowing throughout the body, so that you can avoid focusing too much of that energy on your senses. Karma Pratyahara. This is the control of action. Karma Pratyahara is about surrendering all actions or thoughts of personal reward in favor of acting in service to humanity or the divine. You can practice this through Karma Yoga, which teaches that desire is limitless and happiness is attainable when it is not attached to the results of your actions. Mano Pratyahara. This final type of pratyahara is withdrawal of the mind. When you practice manopratyahara, you not only withdraw from external stimuli, but you actively control your reaction to it and redirect your attention inwards. Control of our senses wants mastery over the flow of prana, as that is what drives the senses. To stop the dispersal of precious vital energy of the body, we need to seek control over its flow and tone it. This is done through various exercises, plus bringing the entire focus to a single point in the body. These two lead to the consequent two types of pratyahara: the control of action, or karma pratyahara, which involves not just control of motor organs, but also right action or work, and karma yoga, surrender of every action to the divine and performing it as an act of service. This leads to the final form of pratyahara, the withdrawal of mind, or mano pratyahara, which is practiced by consciously withdrawing attention from anything that is unpleasant and distracting for the mind by withdrawing attention from the senses and directing it inwards. Control of senses. Under normal conditions, the senses become our masters rather than being our servants. The senses entice us to develop desires for all kinds of things. In Pratyahara, the opposite happens. We try to put the senses in their proper place, but not cut them out of our actions fully. There are 5 steps to Pratyahara during meditation. Sense of sight. We begin with the most dominant sense. Close the eyes slightly. Once the eyelids are in position and you feel lightness around the eyes, lower the pupil down as if looking towards the heart. Don't strain. Once you have taken the position, the eyes do not move. Sense of taste. Relax the jaw. Allow the tongue to come away from the palate. Don't hold the tongue. The tip of the tongue is gently pressed against the lower teeth. Relax the corners of the mouth, allowing the corners to melt down to the jawbone. Sense of smell. Focus your attention to the root of the nose. This is the base of the nose. It does not take long to relax here. Simply focusing on the root of the nose seems to relax the sense of smell. Sense of hearing. Here we relax the inner ear. Focus your attention to the upper edge of the cheekbones. Allow the cheekbones to melt towards the earlobe. You will feel your inner ear releasing tension. Sense of touch. The skin is the largest sense organ. This type of pratyahara teaches you to relax the face. Gently move the skin of the forehead from the center line to the temples. Focus on the center line of the face. Move the skin from the center line to the lower earlobes. The skin is like warm wax, smooth. Pratyahara is often compared to a turtle retracting its limbs into its shell. The turtle's shell is the mind, and the senses are the limbs. You can repeat the steps as many times as you like until your senses are retracted. A person who is influenced by external events and sensations can never reach inner peace and tranquility. This is because he or she will waste much mental and physical energy in trying to suppress unwanted sensations and to intensify other sensations. This will ultimately result in a physical or mental imbalance and will, in most instances, result in illness. For this reason, much of our emotional imbalance is our own creation. Withdrawal of senses. Our senses seem to drag us around the external world. They allow the world around us to come into our minds. Inputs from infinite objects in our external world are constantly occupying our sense organs, yet our attention remains restricted to a mere few at a time. Withdrawing senses does not imply just regulating the physical sense organs. Sense withdrawal is a mental function, and whatever that mental function is drawn to the objects of the mind field. There is an active engagement of the senses. It does not actually matter whether that mental object is coming from the outside or arising from the memory. It is this inner withdrawal of sensory attention to the mental objects that is the practice of pratyahara. The senses that are withdrawn in pratyahara are called indriyas and involves both cognition and expression. There are five means of cognition and five means of expression, and these are each aligned with the lower five chakras. It is exceptionally significant point to understand that senses or indriyas signifies cognition and expression. There is an indwelling witness and an external world, and we want to temporarily suspend all interaction, sensory and expression, with the external, so as to experience the depth of meditation. In addition to suspending external contact for the time being, we also want to temporarily suspend sensory contact with the images and impressions that arise in the mental field. Sense withdrawal means that the senses cease to be engaged or connected to the objects happening in the mind. It does not mean the suppression, repression, or stopping of those thoughts. They may naturally slow down or decrease to some degree, but the method itself is to break the contact, to finish linking with the thought patterns. This means allowing thoughts to flow without disturbance, while the senses are just not diverted into those thoughts. The willingness or unwillingness to be open to this withdrawal is a major separating line between those who experience the depth of true meditation and those who merely achieve some degree of mere mental relaxation. The willingness or unwillingness to withdraw attention from sensory experience is a significant dividing point between those who submit themselves to true meditation and those who undergo no more than physical relaxation. If the mental habit is broken, the physical action part of the habit comes unsurprisingly as a consequence of the mental control. For meditation, provisionally breaking the link between the senses and their objects allows the attention to be able to focus and go inward. As the tendency of the senses towards the mental objects is mastered, there comes regulation in relation to the physical objects of humankind as well. The frequent practice of Pratyahara at meditation time brings a comprehensive reduction of the tendency of the senses being drawn toward and into the objects of the mind field. As the tendency towards the mental object decreases with practice, the degree of mastery increases to its highest level. The very principle of Pratyahara lies upon the fact that we do have the ability to control our sensory input. In Pratyahara, the withdrawal of the senses is deliberate, while at the same time the mind has no purpose of attraction to the external world. To improve your meditational skills, read and recommend Basati's meditation ebooks. These ebooks cover almost all aspects of meditation and prayer comprehensively. In these ebooks, the secrets of meditation and prayer are revealed through exposure to both theoretical and practical aspects. Rest assured that you will get your money's worth many times over by equipping yourself with the necessary knowledge from these ebooks. When you have these ebooks, you don't have to wander in search of knowledge. Ebooks provide flexibility, affordability, and innovative features that align with digital lifestyles, making reading more accessible and enjoyable. So try these precious ebooks at the first opportunity. Hurry up, avail 40% discount. Find the link in description. Now let us discuss the spiritual consequences of Pratyahara. The human eye can perceive light within a specific range of frequencies between 430 and 770 terahertz, which is only a small part of the entire electromagnetic spectrum. Similarly, our ears can detect sound within the frequency range of 20 Hz to 20 kHz, but this is only a fraction of the total sound spectrum. Both light and sound frequencies extend far beyond what we can sense. For instance, there are ultraviolet and infrared light waves that are invisible to us, as well as sound waves below and above our hearing range, such as those produced by certain animals or machines. This means there are numerous signals and activities occurring around us which we cannot detect with our senses. The world is filled with a variety of wavelengths and vibrations that are beyond human perception, yet they still affect the environment and life around us. Through the regular practice of Pratyahara at daily meditation time, we slowly achieve positive control over the mind, being enthusiastically drawn towards all of the objects. If the mind accurately goes inward, the senses will come racing behind. When we go through deep meditation, our attention is unexpectedly drawn towards a strange sound. It is the spiritual echo. Meditation on different chakras produces dissimilar spiritual echoes. Pratyahara is the most potent device to experience it. With the help of Pratyahara, we turn the direction of our senses from worldly objects to the inner world of divinity. We listen to the spiritual echo. In yogic philosophy, this spiritual echo is called the audible life stream. Nad or Nam or Shabd. You might have observed a revolving top or moving wheel. You listen to an echo when you try to examine it very closely. In the same way, all revolving things or bodies having plate-shaped or ball-shaped structures produce an echo when they revolve. Our Earth also have an egg-shaped or say somewhat ball-shaped structure. It also produces an echo when it revolves on its axis. Another motion that our Earth makes is that it moves around the Sun. This movement of the Earth produces another echo. The Sun, the Moon, and all other celestial bodies like stars, etc., produce echoes in the same way. Our sense of hearing develops when we meditate. We listen to even those sounds that are impossible to listen to normally due to their low vibration or low level of utterance frequency. We can catch the sound of the echo of earth in deep meditation. When we meditate at different chakras, we hear the echoes of different celestial bodies like the sun, moon, other stars, and the like simultaneously. That is why we listen to different types of echoes by meditating on different chakras. Our mind enjoys the spiritual echo. Its sound is by far more entertaining than the music. As long as we try to listen to it carefully, it grows clearer and more pleasant. In fact, it adds to meditation. The spiritual illumination is another phenomenon that is noticed when we meditate on chakras. It is brighter than the shining of the sun. However, its brightness does not dazzle our eyes. It does not produce heat. Therefore, its effect is very pleasant and soothing. It grows brighter when we observe it closely. It has a shining of different colors with one dominant color. Each chakra produces a different kind of spiritual illumination. It is a manifestation of our soul. We watch different figures resembling a lotus at different chakras. In spiritual illumination, we watch everything involuntarily that exists in the material world. We have a reach to the whole universe. We watch all heavenly bodies like the star-studded sky and so forth with progress in meditation. We can establish control over spiritual illumination, and then we can watch anything voluntarily. According to yogic philosophy, the spiritual illumination that takes place is called Mahabindu. It has generally three forms, namely will, that is sun, knowledge, that is moon, and action, that is fire. The degree of meditation boosts up the combined effect of both the spiritual illumination and spiritual echo. Both of them are not the outcomes of meditation. These observable facts already exist in every living being. In meditation, we just rediscover them with the help of Pratyahara. We become aware of them simultaneously and not one after another. Both of them draw our attention at the same time. It is impossible to attend to one by ignoring the other. Their combined outcomes is so comforting that we cannot think of releasing from meditation. Let it be stabilized with the help of practice of Pratyahara while we go into deep meditation. I hope this video meets your expectations and it adds to your knowledge and practice. Rest assured, you will always be gaining from my videos. Like my video. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, do it now. Now, like and subscribe to Meditation and Prayer. It means a lot to me. Thanking you for watching this video.